And there we go. So, what is up, Misfits and Moonbasers? This is your boy Ray Recall coming at you once again with a video review, this time with something a bit more mainline. We have the Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Voyager class Soundwave. So, yeah. This is Voyager Soundwave, part of the second wave, I believe, of Voyager class figures from the Siege line. And this is his official vehicle mode. Getting Star Trek vibes from this, getting low render early 80s video game spaceship kind of vibe from it, getting a brick vibe from it. I don't really freaking know. I mean, I don't know. This is just like with Refractor. This is what you get whenever you have a G1 figure that turned into a roleplay type thing and try to make it a space vehicle. I'm not really a fan of this. I mean, I see how it works. I mean, it's got a, I'm guessing that's like a cockpit or a bridge up there. It's transparent plastic, so it's got to be something useful. It's got landing skids. It's got thrusters, which kind of get in the way of the other modes. Yes, I did say modes, plural, but unfortunately there's not really a like a audio player mode for it. I mean, you can fan mode it kind of, but doesn't really help. But yeah, so yeah. So anyway, as a comparison, just compared to some things from the main line, here he is with Deluxe Siege Hound, and he is pretty big. Here he is with a Voyager Seeker. This one is Thundercracker. Ironically, this guy feels a little bit more dense than this guy. And here he is with rectangles. And these rectangles are pretty neat. They're sold separately, but you know, you can pop open the cargo bay or whatever, slam a rectangle in there, and then the other one just kind of, I don't know, just kind of rests there. Yeah. So, yay, rectangles. Patrick Star would be happy. Anyway, pretty much does it for this mode. It does come with a bunch of accessories. He comes with this, oh, what was it? It was a concussion rifle looking thing. No, wait, this is the concussion rifle. This is his concussion rifle right here. This just kind of pulls out. You can push this little button on the back that kind of gives you just a little bit more room. Pull it out. You have his concussion blaster. This is like a sonic amplifier beam or something like that. I don't have the instructions, so I don't know the technical names. And then he comes with this scoped bar looking thing. Let's see if I can get you to focus on it. There we go. Yeah, so that's all for these modes, or for those weapons for now. The little engine thing on mine, they're kind of loose, a little wibbly. Landing gear can technically retract, but it just makes the vehicle mode look more confusing than it already is, so I just leave them out for that. So, yep. Transformation time. Alrighty, so while not official, there is a fan mode that this guy actually was specifically designed to include. So we'll go into that first. Basically, you want to flip these up and kind of lower these and split these out to the sides for now. Come to this section right here and untab it like so. Bring this up, this panel right here. Flip this in, bring it back down, and then these will collapse down like so. Go ahead to the bottom here and sandwich that in. Make sure it's nice and secure. Bring these up. You'll see the tab and the port that it goes into. Just snaps right in. And then bend the elbow, or bend these at this hinge back here. You'll see there's a little slot that a tab will go into. Just kind of want to get it lined up just right. There we go. And that's why I want to bend it at this hinge and not this one. Then do the same. I was hoping that wouldn't happen in this video, but oh well. I do love this setup. I really love this setup. I love my setup. Yeah. Okay, where was I doing? Tabbing this in. Okay, and that secures that there. Then come to the come back here. Flip these down. Flip these up. Drop down these panels and close up that gap. Do the same on the other side. Rotate this section 180 and tilt. Once you get everything straightened out, you have the exciting G1 reference to the first episode of the cartoon, a lamppost. Oh, almost forgot. Almost forgot. You need to leave these up like that. There we go. There we go. Lamppost. It's fun that they were able to do that, and it's funny also in promotional images for the figure. There was actually, there was like a big diorama where it had like Soundwave and all the other like first wave Siege characters were all on this like battle diorama. There was an actual another one of these that was just completely matte black with like all kind of like some gray washing or something like that. I'll see if I can find a picture of that and put a link to that in the description. But it was basically just sitting there in lamppost mode, and almost nobody noticed it until after people realized that that was actually a Soundwave figure that was just completely sitting in the background, and it blended in perfectly. Again, it wasn't painted like Soundwave, but the fact that it still blended into that diorama was hilarious. But this isn't what you came here to see. I mean, it does Cybertronian Jeep, Cybertronian lamppost. Does it? I don't know how. I don't know. If lampposts look like this in Earth, that would be terrifying. But anyway, that's not what our main event is. So to get it into robot mode, just rotate that around, flip these back down, extend these out, and flip out the fists. Rotate that around, flip out the fist. You want to take these, bring them to the back, and then you take this whole back panel, and that'll open up this panel right here. It's on like a double hinge. Let's see if I can do this without flipping over the phone again. Let's see. Lift out the head, close up that back panel, and then on this double hinge you want to bring this down and flush against his back. Just like so. Then that is pretty much it. You have Siege Voyager Soundwave in his robot mode. So, yeah. And I gotta say, he looks amazing. Dan, if you're watching this, I know Soundwave is your boy. But yeah, he looks amazing. They nailed the robot mode perfectly. Let's see if I can go ahead and zoom in a little bit there for y'all. There we go. So to get a good look at him, you know, that face sculpt, very, very G1 head sculpt. It's got the yellow light piped eyes. A lot of the Siege figures have light piped eyes. There are some of them like Refractor that don't have the light pipe. I don't think that Hound has the light piping. But the Voyager class figures that I've seen, actually, wait, no. It's only Soundwave, Starscream, and what was it, Shockwave and Jetfire? Not everybody has light piping, unfortunately, but the ones that do have it, just amazing. Especially this yellow light piping that Soundwave and Shockwave have. So, for articulation, head is on a ball joint. You can do a full 360. You get a little bit of tilt here and there. It looks up or looks down that far. Doesn't really look up that far. Shoulders are on a 360. They go out that far. Bicep rotation, double bend at the elbow. So it's pretty deep bend. No rotation at the wrist, although you do get a little bit of in and out movement. Waist rotation. The hip skirts are individual and they can move up that far, so you can do the full front kick. Kick that back that far. Legs can go all the way out. You do have a thigh rotation. About just over 90, about 90 degrees of movement at the elbow. Feet don't really tilt forward and back, but they do have this nice little pivot at the bottom. And again, with all Siege figures, you know, you got combat port, combat port, combat port, combat port, combat ports. So if you have weaponizers and port. So if you have weaponizers, it works pretty well. Now, before I go into the accessories, there is one thing I wanted to point out is that, you know, the weapons are supposed to combine. So if you take the sonic cannon, if you take the scope pistol, and then you take the concussion blaster, they can form a whole weapon. So you take this, plug that in like so. I think it went down like that. Yeah. And then you take this, plug this end into here, and you get a long rifle. Yeah, nobody wants that. So, of course, concussion blaster goes in his hand. You take the sonic cannon, plug it up in his shoulder. Now, due to the sculpt, sometimes the backpack does get in the way, so I just like to leave it at this angle. It's not perfectly facing forward, but hey, you know, it keeps everything kind of flush to the best of your ability. And then this thing is pretty interesting because if you think about it, it's not really meant for Soundwave, even though he can hold it in his other hand. He can kind of like holster it. It comes with Soundwave, and there's that tab that fits into his vehicle mode, but it's not really for Soundwave. Nobody so far that I have seen has officially made this comment, and if people have, then good on them. I don't need to see it in the comments below. But this is actually meant to go for somebody else. And I know what you're thinking. What is this weird pea shooter stick thing? How is that going to improve Megatron? G1 over-the-shoulder gun barrel. And that's how, and I actually just leave him with Megatron because, I mean, that, again, it sticks out a little bit weird, and I've tried sticking it onto the top. I've tried doing some other stuff with it, but honestly, it looks fine like that, so I just keep it like that. So, yeah. Weird that they had to include it with him, but then again, it didn't really fit with Megatron, so whatever. Oh, and there is one other thing that Soundwave can do. He's got, notice, you know, he's got this finger at a slight angle, whereas the other fist doesn't have that. Show you a little, it looks a little bit, see it a little bit easier here. This one has a finger, this one doesn't. And the reason why he can do that is because if you play around with these joints, you can get him to press his own button. So, anyway, but we'll get into these rectangles in a little bit, so, or in another video. So, anyway, just for some size comparisons, here he is with Deluxe Refractor, a Voyager Seeker, go ahead and bring back Siege Leader Ultra Magnus, and finally, if I can, oh, don't fall off, no, there we go, haha, gotcha. Siege Commander, Siege Commander Jetfire. So yeah, that is basically it for Soundwave. So this has been the Transformers Fall of Cybertron Voyager class Soundwave figure. I have been Ray Recall, and there we go. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment on this or any of my other videos for the month of November 2019 for a chance to win a Mint Inbox Siege Ratchet figure. That is the Walgreens exclusive. And the winner will be announced for that on December 1st of 2019. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.